All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to just another episode of Just Our G.I. Joe Show, episode 42. You can see it's just me and my friend Skinny here. Skinny, tell people where they can find you on social media now.
I am on Twitter, Instagram, and now Facebook as @SkinnyJoeFan.
All right, and Fred has, well, Fred's MIA. I don't know where the hell Fred's at, to be honest with you. Also, the Nick, what's the Nick's last name?
Nick Messersmith.
Messersmith with the Kickstarter we're going to talk about is running behind as well. So we will, Skinny knows, I'm assuming you know quite a bit of what's going on with this Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it here in just a little bit. A couple things I want to talk about real quick. I try to mention this in all the episodes. Joe Fest 2019 is coming up next year. June 20, I think 21st, 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah, it's actually, which is really funny, it's actually the week before my convention here in Arkansas. So that will be a really couple of busy weeks for me right there alone. It's going to be in Augusta, Georgia. Be sure to go check them out on Facebook, Joe Fest Toy and Comic Show, where they will have somebody that JokeCon couldn't give us, which was Sergeant Slaughter, which is a very big, he's going way out above and beyond to give everyone a great show. There's a lot of people coming, a lot of artists, a lot of guests. So it's going to be a really big show. Me and Fred will be there. Kavanaugh will be there. I believe Carson will be there. There'll be a lot of people. Joe Colton cosplay, Maggie Rollins. Is that her name? Cosplay? Is that what she goes by?
I'm not sure of her last name, but Maggie is right.
Yeah, her last name's Rollins. I know that. And then Chris from Full Force, I believe, is going to be there as well. So, yeah. So there's that. Also, I can't remember exactly where I saw it on Facebook. They're getting ready to make an announcement where, if you recall, they had a special figure made. It was a Billy figure O-ring style, and it was white. One version was white, the other one was tan, had alternate heads. It was a very big, huge hit at this past Joe Fest, and they plan on announcing another figure here, I believe, here this coming within the next couple of weeks, maybe next week. I'm not for sure. But the picture they've shown has been like a zombie. So we're going to see some kind of zombie inspired figure. It looks like. I'm not sure if it's O-ring or not. Another thing on Joe Fest was that the registration went live. And if you didn't know, which like me myself, I didn't really know myself, was that when you registered for it, the let's see where it's at. They had VIP packages, and which includes the 50th wedding anniversary of Ron Rudat and his wife, and then on one of the there's two different VIPs. One includes a O-ring figure, the other one includes a modern figure. And that package was $100. I don't know whether they have any left or not.
They set up another group of VIP packages, and that went on sale Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Let's see. Let's click a link here and take a look. Excuse me.
No drinking on the job, Mike.
Maybe all right. It's Saturday night. Oh, I hate when I'm unprepared like this. That's okay. We wing it here. That's the beauty of live video, I guess.
What you need to do is you need to get that Jeopardy theme song queued up every time you do something. Of course, then Jeopardy's going to sue your pants off because you use it.
Okay, there we go. I was looking at the wrong thing. No, it was right in front of me, actually. Okay, yeah, they still show both of them available, I'm assuming, looks like. Yeah. All right, guest toy and comic show Joe Fest VIP experience of official exclusive O-ring action figure and the Ron Rudat dinner, which was, I think, limited to 50, I thought. Then there's another one, exact same thing, that includes a modern figure. The ticket includes Friday, Saturday admission with a special meet and greet with show celebrities. This ticket includes the preview night as well. Celebrities are subject to change. It includes the official 2019 carded O-ring souvenir action figure and Ron Rudat 50th wedding anniversary dinner at Carolina Ale House in Augusta, Georgia. That's on June 22nd at 7:30 p.m. Food and beverages are not included. The other one is the exact same thing, except it is a modern figure carded. Um, I don't know what they are as far as the what the figure is. I do know that they are it does not mention about was I did get clarification from Ed that the that does include early bird admission. So like the early bird people can get in. I think Friday 7:30 is what it was. Are you going to make this show by some chance, Skinny, or are you going to sit this one out?
It's a possibility.
Okay. Yeah, preview night. Da 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 da. I could have sworn to say here what time it started. Oh, yeah, there. It's on that one, not this one. Augusta Toy and Comic Show Jeff Fest preview night and combo ticket. This ticket includes admission to the preview night Friday, June 21st, with early general admission June 22nd. Preview night begins at 7:30. Sales not started on that one. The ticket on that's $25. So to get into the show both days, early admission, $25 plus a $3.16 fee from Eventbrite. So that's that on that one. And then there's some other ones. So be sure to go check out. God, I'm so horrible at this. So horrible. You're going to go to the Augusta Toy and Comic Show.com. There'll be the link there for Eventbrite and all the information for tickets. So try to make plans for that next year. You're well in advance of the date. Who's going to be there? The hotel has been booked, sold out, more rooms, sold out again. So I think last I saw he was working on a third block. So it's going to be a pretty big deal, I think. I think there's going to be a big, huge turnout for this one. So hopefully a lot of people make it to this show. So let's see. All right.
Anything going on at New York Comic Con, Mike?
Yeah, you had mentioned that earlier to me. You go ahead and talk about what it was. I forget again. I know it was a statue, I believe.
Oh, come on. I want to hear you say the name.
No, I can't say no names. Horrible.
They did reveal the artwork for the Scarlet Baroness and the Lady J statues for Kotobukiya. And also PCS Toys revealed the actual statue for Storm Shadow, where he's standing on top of a Cobra Ferret. So those were revealed this weekend. Still got another day. Who knows if they'll reveal anything else? And of course, there's been a lot of cosplay. Actually, some G.I. Joe cosplay showing up at New York Comic Con too. So we're being represented.
Do we know the release date on that statue by some chance?
That you would have to Google.
Yeah, I might Google it. So. All right, that's fine. And we're going to go into screen share. We're going to talk about G.I. Joe Flashback. This is a new Kickstarter going on right now. Skinny has a little bit of part in this.
I have a huge part in this.
Well, no,
I'm the producer, so you might say I have a pretty good part in it.
Gotcha. We're going to go into screen share. We know I'm very.
Okay, Nick will be on in a little bit here. He's actually out to eat. So he's going to order dinner and then he's going to jump on.
What do you see? The endless screen?
I see the endless screen. Now I
Yeah.
see our project, G.I. Joe Flashback.
All right. So I've read up on this. I watched the video. I will play the video. I'm pretty sure it will not be volume on the whole entire show. Can you hear it by some chance? Skinny, can you hear it?
Yeah, I was listening and I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Yeah, that's what the apparently I don't know. I'm doing something wrong. I know Eric tried to tell me last week on a couple other podcasts how to do it, but it didn't work out too well. But this here, from what I understand, y'all are doing some. Is it a full-fledged movie or a documentary, or what exactly?
Maybe a short film.
Short film.
Yeah. What we did is, this is actually a teaser we shot last year. That was Shy. Shy is a MMA fighter. She was nice enough to volunteer and be our Viet Cong person. What it is it's going to take and delve into the story that takes place before everybody became G.I. Joe team members. So you will have the unit that was in the comics with Stalker, Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, Wade Collins, Ramon Escobedo, and Dickie Saperstein. And it'll be a story that takes place, you know, shortly before they had that fatal mission. The mission that basically sets up the entire G.I. Joe comic universe.
Okay. Hold on. What? Can you hold on 1 second? I'm sorry. Hello. I don't figure I'm live right now. Just get something. There you go. Sorry about that. You still there?
Yep, I'm still here.
All right. So basically, I guess the about section here is what you basically just said.
Right. Yep.
Um,
The pledge levels are, it starts at $5. Well, actually, you can do any pledge level anywhere from $1 on up. The $5 is a thank you. The $10 or more, you get a postcard made from a scene film during the making of G.I. Joe Flashback. $15, a thank you in the credits. Also the postcard. On $25 level, you get the digital download of the film. Your name is listed in the credits. Thank you mentioned on Twitter and Instagram, and the postcard. $100 level. Oh, sorry. $60 level. Yeah, you're. Stop that. $60 level. The postcard will be signed. The $100 level. We have set up an Instagram account that I will be on set and I will be filming live. And the only way you will get to see any of that footage is if you do the $100 level on Instagram. You can go to the next one. The $750 or $300 level is you get a prop, and that will be a prop of our choice. And it's not going to be anything insignificant. It will be a significant prop. The $750 level, you will be mentioned as a character in the script, in the dialogue. And for $2,000 level, you can actually be on screen. So,
yeah. Where exactly is this being filmed at?
Okay, in your backyard.
Yeah,
it's not a backyard production, but it's actually we're looking at Arkansas. So
yeah, well, if you come to my house, the landmines are dog turds. So
we are looking for the exact right time to film. Basically, when you are doing a Vietnam film, you want a rice paddy at the right height. We want to have the right atmosphere, right level of water, all of that. And so basically, we're looking at two different places. We're looking at Arkansas or Minnesota to film. Either one of those would work because Minnesota is actually one of the largest rice producers in the United States. So kind of been doing the homework on this, trying to find the best place to go to. Like I said, the location is not locked in yet, but we places in Arkansas that we're looking at as a definite possibility.
You serious? You're here about Arkansas?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. I would think somewhere in the flatter states would be closer or better for y'all being in
Well, there is
water.
some rice production in Arkansas, and that's one of the reasons that we're going. It's, I think, in the northeastern area of Arkansas.
Trying to think of the town. There's Stuttgart, Arkansas, which is actually, I believe, the rice capital of what is it? It's one of those rice companies that's done right there in Arkansas.
Uh-huh.
I think it's Stuttgart. I just can't remember the name of the rice. Of course, I don't eat rice. I eat the fried rice at the hibachi grill.
There you go. And see, and that's one of the things we have to look into is to find the right location there, whether it's in Arkansas or Minnesota. And basically, that's one of the things that is going to add to the cost, just because we're going to have to fly our actors in there. No matter where we cast from, we're going to use a professional casting agency. So wherever we cast from, either in Minnesota or Arkansas, we're probably going to have to fly some actors in there, and that's one of the reasons why the budget has reached the level it has.
Okay. So you have 12 backers. You have 40 days to go.
Yep.
And you got about 10% of what you need. 10%
Yep.
for the 40 days remaining. And so basically, what we need to do is share this with everybody, pretty much, right?
Share, and if you give up a latte one day, that's $5. You get enough people to give up enough lattes, and we'll make that goal. So that's one of the things that we would like to see is as many G.I. Joe fans as possible, so that we can produce this for them. It's my script, it's my idea, but it's also for the G.I. Joe community. We have a sore lack of G.I. Joe films out there. Nick is actually working on one right now, Crimson Archer, and he'll talk about that once he gets on here. But
it looks like you have 2 help wanted positions available: stunt coordinator and casting director. Is that correct?
Correct. Actually, Nick is probably going to be doing most of the stunt coordination because he is a stuntman as well as an actor. So
that's pretty cool. And it looked like in that video I saw you walking through the water.
Yeah, I won't be in the actual film. I was just in there for the teaser. I had a no-show that night when one of the people I had cast decided they didn't want to be in it. And that's one of the pratfalls of filming, is that you don't necessarily get everybody there all at the same time. And even my backup I couldn't get a hold of him that night. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll gear up and I'll go out there in the lake. So
time to suit up.
Yep.
Now, where exactly did y'all film the teaser at?
Well, it's kind of funny because, you'd think, trying to find a swamp or something like that, you'd have to really hunt and peck. But basically, we found a slew of cattails over at the local golf course. So we were listening to people yell "for," and we were just off to the side of the golf course there. So right there in the back area of the golf course.
Wow, that worked out pretty well then, didn't it?
It did. That's one of the things about filming, is that just because you're filming and you need it to look like a certain location, there might be a highway 50 feet off to your left, but as long as that's not in the camera, then you accomplish your goal. And if you have to, you can CGI an airplane out of the shot if it's in the sky or something. For the most part, you'd be surprised as to where the actual locations are. It's not like you actually fly to Vietnam. You just find a place that looks like Vietnam, or then you go from there.
Let's see here. Well, we've talked a little bit about it. Let's talk about some other stuff.
Sure.
Until Nick makes it on. I don't know where Fred's at. I emailed him, texted him. So I do not know where he's at. I know where he was at 9:30 this morning. Him and his lovely fiance were at their Hallmark store doing ornament shopping. I found that kind of ironic because I had just left the Hallmark store with my wife from doing ornament shopping.
What
And
have
she
they
gets
got out this year?
nothing GI Joe. She picked up 2 or 3 Harry Potters for her daughter, and then she got a couple, which I know. See, and I can't really bitch too much because I spent so much money on pops just Friday because of the they called it the Target Con where they had a whole bunch of different pops coming out for Target exclusives.
Uh-huh.
And our Target, which was very funny, I actually the day before I did a lot of my stops for Friday on Thursday, and I think I only had like 6 stops to deliver to, but they were, I had to drive out the middle of BFE to get to them, which wasn't. I mean, I was still done by noon, which was very funny. But anyways, we're allowed to leave the warehouse on Friday at 6 a.m. And my daughter was already there waiting, so I just had to go pick up my truck and then just drove there. And then me and her sat there for 2 more hours, and we got everything that I wanted to get. Of course, I dropped like $200, and then my wife, I think she dropped like $180 this morning on ornaments.
Wow.
That was including what she picked up plus the what she had on layaway. Which just it's a little disheartening because like we got my daughter this one. It's like a house or something from Harry Potter, and I assumed it was a big heavy one, blah 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 or whatever. Man, it was nothing but a hollow hunk of plastic for $25. Now, like, you got to be kidding me. Some of these ornaments have gotten really cheap over the years that I've noticed once she gets. But I mean, she got one that's like some kind of gum glass or whatever. That damn thing was like $45. So I'm like, well, can't say much of anything to her about it since I pick up so much crap, between Transformers and GI Joe and Pops and all that stuff. So yeah, I can't say too much about that.
Did
But
you see the video, the unboxing video, Serpentor Prime statue?
no, I did not. I've seen the statue, but I have not seen the unboxing video.
They had a couple that she bought it for him as a birthday present, and they did an unboxing video on YouTube, and that thing is enormous. The boxes were 30 inches tall. They came in 2 boxes. One box had the base in it, and the other box had actually Serpentor in it. And they went through and put it together over an hour, and the thing was just amazing. I mean, that must have been like 2 feet tall. You see it in pictures and stuff at conventions and stuff like that, but to actually watch them on the video putting it together and talking about it, it was just huge. I don't know where I would put it, but
Exactly.
When you, like I said, the size of it alone, it was just immense. But definitely worth checking out if you can find that video online. It was posted today on YouTube.
Here's something I'll kind of hit or talk about, I guess. Apparently, Toys R Us has changed their mind in selling out in their bankruptcy or whatever, and they're going to try to make a comeback. That's what and it's not going to be called Toys R Us. I saw somewhere where it was going to be called Toy Box, and it was still going to be Jeffrey as the mascot. So, man, I don't know what to think about that anymore. I think, I kind of thought that horse was dead, and now we got people, trying again, and it's kind of hard to sit there and say, okay, we're going to come out of this, and we're going to go ahead and keep our stores open. So, but as a company who would sell product to such as Hasbro, Mattel, any of those, I mean, that's a huge risk that you're going to take. I'm sure they've already lost money in giving them product and not getting paid for it. I mean, why the hell would you do it twice?
Yeah, Hasbro actually on their quarterly report, they were talking about the plans that they had for the loss. You know,
Say that one more time. Sorry, you completely.
the
No.
quarterly report from Hasbro, you can download it online and listen to it. It's about an hour long and it's a lot of dry information, but they talked about how the loss of Toys R Us actually did impact Hasbro as as a corporation. My thoughts on that are, if you're going to have Toys R Us start up again, it's not like a gradual process. Toys R Us was a gradual process. It started with one store somewhere, and then it became hundreds and hundreds of stores. So how are you going to start out all at once with hundreds and hundreds of stores if you're going to do that? That's my question. That's quite an investment to just start up all those stores from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow with these people. They want to. I just don't understand how they're going to do it. I really don't. I mean, again, like you said, Hasbro listed how they had taken a loss on everything. And of course, I'm sure Mattel and anybody else took a huge loss on everything. And it's like, it's that old saying, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, or shame on you, or whatever that goes. I mean, I'm sorry, if I was Hasbro, I'd be like, you know what? You're going to be COD. Figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah. At the same time, though, there is a huge demand for it that just checking to see if Nick was trying to jump on. There is a huge demand for it to come back. So
you're 100% correct. I mean, because as far as like Transformers, of course, there's not much. I mean, we've had to deal with Amazon. If you're looking for G1 reissues, there is the Walmarts that have Starscream, Rodimus, Devastator, and the Minibots, which I know here in Arkansas they've been looking. I think they've been pretty much found everywhere on the countryside. Pops, you have to look through. Let's see. There's a Hot Topic. There is GameStop, but you can order some stuff from GameStop as well outside. That you would get. Target. Target's got a whole NECA section. Walmart on October 15th will have their own kind of different section of for collectors as far as Pops, Loot Crate, stuff of that nature. That's supposed to be October 15th, which of course, any launch date's never correct. It's never right. There's always something wrong somewhere. So there are some other retailers that are kind of picking up the slack, kind of not, but I mean, those. And of all places, I actually went to Hobby Lobby and I was looking and just went down one aisle, and there was like one facing from up down maybe 4 shelves of Pops. Couldn't believe Hobby Lobby of all places had Pops. I thought that was strange. I was actually in there. Just another thing I collect is Christmas nutcrackers. I know it sounds strange, but my mother, she had a lot of nutcrackers that I inherited, and so I continuously buy nutcrackers every year. That's what it amounts to.
I saw a bunch of Star Wars nutcrackers at a store we got here called At Home. Basically, they were what you think they would be. They were nutcrackers that were in the shape of Star Wars characters. So
that's funny.
You may want to check that out.
I think we have an At Home place. I'm not sure. But sorry about that. Fred, where are you at, man? Killing me. Let's see if you know that.
So, what do you think as far as online versus brick and mortar? Do you think the brick and mortar is becoming a thing of the past?
Yeah, I think what I can really say on this is that I've ordered quite a bit offline lately, and when you order offline, especially again, I'll keep mentioning it like beating a dead horse on pops. You know, a lot of people are very particular about the boxes
Sure.
on the condition. Me, you know, I'm kind of 50-50. I can get by on, you know, if it's completely demolished, then we have an issue. Being a little bit, you know, wrinkled here or there, I can live with it. I did order some pops a while back from Target, which I thought they packaged very good, which was, excuse me, there is a pop collector's box that you put the pop in, and then that was put inside another box with bubble wrap. So Target packaged up very well. Walmart, I did a site to store one time, and it was that big balloon kind of stuff, you know.
Uh
It was okay, nothing was damaged. But and going back to Toys R Us, in my opinion, was the worst to buy offline. They did not give two shits, period. They would throw a collector's item in a box with nothing in it, and the box be 2 or 3 times bigger than it needed to be.
Yeah, I think I've run into that a couple times.
I had an issue here or there. A friend of mine, he ordered a lot, and them and what was it? Hasbro Toy Shop, same way. They would throw like one slither of balloon, like that was really going to do anything about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're just, you know, they're just not thinking, you know, and that, or they just don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. So there is that. You know, dogs barking.
I can hear him.
Yeah, I think my oldest kid's home.
Nick's trying to get on. He says he can't get on.
Tell him he needs to follow everything. It's a Google Hangout. Ask him if he has a Google account.
Yeah, he's got a Gmail.
Okay. What's he? Ask him what he's trying to log in on. A lot of people I've seen who have problems either had to use a tablet or their cell phone.
Okay. I'm going to send you something through Twitter here. Hang on. Maybe you can connect with him.
I think I still, yeah, there's his email you gave me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tell him I'm going to send it directly through.
Telling you, Mike, you need to get that technical difficulty signed so you can stick that out there.
Well, this is where Fred would actually hold the paper up.
I don't have one. I can make one real quick. I got a piece of paper laying down here.
There, I sent it to him.
Okay.
And then again, you know, when we had John on 2 weeks ago, he had a hard time getting on. He ended up, I think, using his cell phone in order to get to work.
Not to slam Google Hangouts or anything, but that might be part of the problem. It's just how clunky it is sometimes.
I mean, knock on wood, me personally, I've never had a problem logging in on somewhere, I guess.
Now that I've been on a few times, it's, you know, pretty easy for me to connect. But
I think the very first time I tried to log on is when I had an issue, and then after that, everything worked out just great.
Hey, there's Nick.
Did he make it?
Yeah, I see him.
Hello, what's up?
Hey, Nick, how's it going? You doing all right?
Good, how are you guys?
Good.
You get your dinner in?
Oh, and I ordered. We're at this like really nice fancy restaurant, so I ordered the food. So it'll be a few minutes here before it gets before it gets out there. So.
He's out in his car in the parking lot. This is hilarious.
Oh yeah,
That's
you
awesome.
know.
I know you got a few minutes, Nick. Nick, Skinny has kind of touched on everything.
Sure.
Go ahead and give us the $5 show on your Kickstarter. What just
Or
sell
just
us on your
tell us about yourself, Nick.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. So I guess we can start. I was where I'm from. I was actually born in Korea, and I was adopted. And my parents will always tell you that they always say we were the whitest people ever, and they didn't really know anything about Korean culture. So they signed me up for Taekwondo because that was really the only thing they knew.
Wow.
And actually, I ended up liking it and continuing with it. And then when everyone else was playing football and baseball and basketball, I was doing Taekwondo. I was practicing. And then I found out they had it as a collegiate sport. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go do that. And I did that. I went over to Korea and trained for a little bit. And then figured I wanted to go to film school. I went to film school and got out. And then I kind of just started doing stunts and random things like that. Originally wanted to direct. And then kind of next thing you know, someone say, "Hey, could you choreograph a fight scene for me, or could you do this? Could you do that?" So I said, "Sure." And then before too long, it was like, "Well, the other person doesn't know it. Why don't you play the bad guy and just throw a few punches and get beat up?" I said, "Okay." And that's kind of thus my acting career started. And then kind of went on. I started teaching a little bit, and I got back into film, and I did this G.I. Joe fan film. I was actually being filmed here in Iowa. It's actually a pretty ambitious and big project. I didn't realize how big it was when I signed on. Originally, they just looking, and I love Storm Shadow. Growing up as a kid, having that character for me, it was, Asians, unfortunately, Asian kids, we don't have a lot we can dress up as. We can either be Kato, we can be Bruce Lee as Kato for Halloween, or we can be a ninja. So Storm Shadow was always kind of a character. I was like, oh, I could be him, So, and he had a cool history and a cool background with Snake Eyes, and really truly appreciated it. And when I got the opportunity to do that, I said, okay, sure. And did Storm Shadow. And then kind of started getting back into acting. Did this movie called Level Up that was filmed actually in Nebraska. A lot of stunt guys, a lot of stunt guys. It's a great action-packed film. If you just love straight up, just kind of balls to the wall action films, that's going to be this. It's got, I think, 15 or 20 stunt guys in there, just doing some cool stuff and everything. And then the project I got on, I actually signed on to do. I was talking to a writer who did this film called Bully Girls, and it was about anti-bullying and kind of all that kind of stuff like that. And I really appreciated what the message sent, but the writer knew a producer, and the producer said, well, what about an action film? I have this action film, and I read the script, and I said, I got to do this. And so the script it's called Flex. It's a film called Flex. We have a small budget right now. We have about 20,000 right now from investors overseas, and we're trying to get just a little bit more to help out. But essentially, it's about a woman named Flex, and she gets a letter from her father 1 week after he's dead. So she goes to his funeral, and then a week later, she gets a letter from him, and it pretty much tells her how he died, that he was going to be assassinated, and that he was a part of this network called the board of directors type of thing, and they're a part of these rich businessmen that hire assassins to do dirty work for them, and he was the head of that, and he felt that he was going to be assassinated and tells her, and then after that, kind of all hell breaks loose. She gets attacked. They send assassins after her. She's got to defend herself. So it's very much like Kill Bill meets John Wick, I think I would describe it. So.
And can you go into some of your skills that you have as far as what you can bring to the film?
Sure, definitely. So like I said, I started training when I was 5, and so I'm 33 now. So 28 years I've been training and doing martial arts. I have fourth degree black belt in Taekwondo, and I train. I have students and teach there. I do also have Keto, Judo, Kumdo, some sword. Um, let's see what else. Kung Fu, Wing Chun, all those kind of things. The Eskrima, Kali, stick fighting, and all that kind of stuff. Fight choreography, done that for a long time, is one of my passions. One thing I really love, kind of seeing the evolution of fights and how it looks now, and from the old kung fu ways of Bruce Lee to now kind of that more realistic, gritty, kind of like John Wick style, Jason Bourne style fight. And stunts. I've done stunts and stunt coordinating, and I have a stunt team. I have a 12-man stunt team right now, men and women mixed up of martial artists and some of them that do some different kinds of stunts, wire stunts, all that kind of stuff like that. And we're just getting ready to kind of get out there and kind of promote ourselves a little bit more. And I've been working here doing this, doing more of it, and kind of hopefully to get these guys out there a little more. So like I said, my expertise and I've directed, and so as an actor and everything else, I kind of have a director's eye on things too as well. So I understand getting in that character, where that character needs to be standing, sitting, all that kind of stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. I've just kind of done everything in film and martial arts wise. I'm not the best martial artist in the world, but I feel that I can hopefully do some cool stuff and make it look good on camera. So
What about this project do you like? Do you like the part that you're getting to do a character from G.I. Joe?
yeah, definitely. And it's the history of Storm Shadow kind of too, so for one, I already love the character, and I think to be able to show him, because he's such, a lot of portrayals, if you've watched it, they've gone into some of the history and everything, but I like this history to kind of just show, this kind of makes him more human, and makes him kind of show where he came from and why he is the way. Because, if you look at Storm Shadow, in his mind, he is right and he is a good guy. In his mind, that's the way he looks at things. So he, in his mind, he's the good guy and everyone else is the bad guy. So this kind of shows the history of how did he get that mindset? Why does he look at that differently than other people, so to say? So definitely, I love this project. I think showing that the war and kind of what caused him to become the way he is, and the relationship between him and Snake Eyes, that's going to be very good as well. So
As far as these films you do, is this pretty much your career in life, or is this just something you do on the side for fun?
no, this is actually my career. I do teach a lot of martial arts too, but lately I've allowed my assistant instructors, and luckily I've built the program the last 6 or 7 years up well enough that now I have enough assistants that can go around and help me at my schools while I go and do this. So I pretty much do this as full time as I can be, if I can find steady work and all that kind of stuff like that. So
Okay, I know we talked about the goals earlier, the different Kickstarter campaigns, or not campaigns, but levels of commitments. And I know it's kind of like Skinny said, it was like, if you're a coffee drinker, give up that one latte that day for $5 and donate to this, which looks like a really good. It would be nice, because I know Skinny said y'all were talking about either going to Minnesota or Arkansas, and I actually live in Arkansas.
oh, cool.
So that would be something I would totally come to, just to hang out, possibly even do a live remote, just for y'all doing. I mean, that would be awesome. I know he had mentioned, because you wanted to look up for rice fields, and the funny part is that Riceland, that's the name of it. Riceland is in Stuttgart, Arkansas, which is, if you go to the grocery stores, you'll see in the rice aisles, it's called Riceland rice, and that's all done here in Arkansas. I mean, if I'm correct, that city, because my nephew is a firefighter, he used to work at one. They had 2 firehouses right there, just because of the rice fields. If they ever caught on fire, they had one on each side of town or something like that, I think is what it was. But yeah, there is a rice. It's one of the rice. They call it one of the rice capitals of the world, or whatever, I guess. But so it'd be nice if y'all came down here. 'Cause I definitely, Stuttgart's not that far of a drive for me. I think it's less than an hour, to be honest with you. So that'd be great. I know you're tight on time if we're out to eat and everything, but it sounds like you're a real steady guy on this, and I really hope this gets funded. I know it is a big goal to hit, but you still have 40 days. Y'all started on how many days? Was it 50? 55?
60.
60? Okay, so we're, excuse me, 20 days in. So, I mean, as far as my end, I will definitely, hopefully the video gets out and about and around. And then, of course, I'll post it on a couple other places as far as fan groups I run on Facebook. So hopefully maybe y'all can, you know, you got, I got one group that has 700 people. If, if all of them donated $5, they did the minimum, y'all can make your money easily. So I hope it's something that gets funded. I really do. It looks like it's a really cool thing. And like Skinny said, we all know there's not much of anything for G.I. Joe until, was it 2020 or 2019, I guess, for the movie?
Yeah, I think 2020, and I was looking at it. I would love if hopefully, like I said, I'd love to, if I can get in there and get my name out there, maybe audition for Storm Shadow for the new one. I would love to play that role. I think like I said, he's a great character and everything. And if we come down there, that would be great. I would love to come down there. And I'm actually filming a short film in the next couple of weeks. So I may send that to Skinny and let him post it on his GoFundMe or whatever in his crowdfunding. And you show kind of maybe some of the action and stuff that we're going to do and stuff like that, or that I'm capable of doing anyways. And maybe hopefully that will help out with getting some people too.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to see some of your work. Now, where can people find you at? I mean, do you have a social media account that's public for people to see stuff that you've done, or have a website or what?
Yeah, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, Twitter, IMDb, everything. So Facebook, you can find me if you just type in Nick Messersmith, you'll find me. I'm on there. My picture comes up. I believe if you do facebook.com/Nick Messersmith, you'll find I have two accounts. I have my personal account, but I also have my the actors page that they have on there that my agent put up for me. So you can message me on there and follow me on there. And I post pictures of, G.I. Joe, the G.I. Joe film I'm working on now, and a bunch of other projects that I'm working on. I post pictures on there all the time. So, and stunt guys and everything else. And then Instagram, it's Instagram.com/ and I use my Korean name for that. So it's Sung Changdae, SUNGCHANGDAE. And you can follow me on there. I post pictures on there as well. So.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, we appreciate you jumping in on right now. I know, like I said, you're out for dinner and everything, but we will, me and Skinny will keep talking about it a little bit, and we're going to post everything where we can. And hope it, again, I hope it gets funded and y'all get to do this program.
Definitely. I hope so too. And if we're in Arkansas, hopefully, wherever we decide to shoot, I'm looking forward to working with everyone and meeting everyone and everything else. So.
Well, great. Well, thanks again for jumping in for the time you could here, and
no problem.
We appreciate you. And like I said, we'll get the word out, man.
All righty. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Yep, no problem.
Well, cool. I'm glad he was able to get on the way. I wonder what his date thought. Hey, I went around to the car and do this podcast real quick.
That's actually his wife.
Have them, his wife. Okay, have them keep that on the heat lamp for a few minutes until I get back.
I
I'll
really
let you get
appreciate him coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Real cool guy. Seems like a real nice kid. I say kid, no, because he's younger than I. Me being 40 now. So, so that's a pretty cool thing. So, and I'm going to post it on some social medias later on. But yeah, I mean, the goal is 29K, 12 backers, 40 days to go. Again, if let's just do the math here real quick. Oh yeah, man. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, all you would need would be if 600 people would donate just $5. Just do the $5 one. Of course, you want people to do more,
Oh,
obviously.
obviously, yeah.
Obviously, yeah, but just in
I
theoretically,
mean, if we go above and beyond the goal, we'll be able to do more. We'll
right,
be able to get, more. Uh, there's a couple things that I'm shooting for. I don't want to say what they are, but
right.
it's not really a stretch goal. But if we go past the 29K, there are things that I can do that I wouldn't be able to do necessarily unless I really, didn't eat for a month or something. But
Roman noodles.
yeah, yeah. But if we do film in Minnesota, like I said on other places, there's a place called Drive a Tank, and basically for about between 3 and 5K, you basically have a tank for a day, and so we could do anything we wanted to with that, and that would be a nice thing to have in the film. Not an absolute necessity to film, but it would be nice to have it in there and give it a little bit nicer touch.
Gotcha. Well, great. I hope people go to that, and we'll talk about that. We'll mention the link before we close the show out. One thing I want to skip over to real quick. I know we're going to be going here and there. We'll talk about all kinds of things because Fred's not here to control me. So, a while back, a lot of you know who know me, or we went to JoeCon, or I went to JoeCon, and at the time I went to JoeCon, I was actually suspended from my job for 10 days. The funny part was that I was suspended and still getting paid, which I was in route sales, so I got the commission. Which the funny part was that those 2 weeks were digital coupons at Kroger's. If you have a Kroger's near you, you know what I'm talking about. You download the digital coupon, you get something extremely cheap, which I did bread. We had a new loaf of bread, and apparently, I mean, they sold a crazy amount of bread, and while I was gone, and my paychecks were 2 weeks were pretty fat. But anyways, when I was not able to keep my job when I came back after the 10 days, I had to rectify a decision in one of the chain store, which is, well, I'll just say that he's a dickhead. It's Dollar General, period. I hate him with a passion. If I saw this guy in real life, I told him I would smack him silly. They are the biggest pieces of shit in the world. That's what I feel about them. I don't care what anyone says about it. That's just all it's to it. He cost me my route, is what it amounted to. But anyways, that's either here or there. At that time, looking for a new job, I had to sell some of my collection, and I listed a lot on some Facebook groups, sold a lot there. Sadly, sold all of my 25th carded and vehicles, and pretty much anything 25th I sold, it's gone. To get by, on certain bills, vehicles, other collection habits, just real sad. But anyways, and I made some deals on eBay, which is really the devil's playground. And I sold this one item, and I'm gonna say this guy's name, 'cause I really don't care. Tom's Vintage Toyz. He's a dickhead out there in San Diego, and I had a collectors GI Joe Collectors Club FSS 6 crosshairs loose. I actually did a video review on that toy that you can find here on YouTube. Excuse me. And I ended up taking the best offer because I needed cash. And mind you, in the picture, everything's there, complete. As soon as I took the pictures, put them in the baggies, complete. The guy gets it. Man, I think he had it for like a week. Then he messages me and he says, hey, this gun is the small gun is missing, which would be like a revolver gun that you would have gotten with cross country. No, it wasn't cross country. It was it looks kind of like cross country. I think it was cross country's gun, now that I think about it. But anyways, it's the little green revolver gun. And I told him it was in his holster. Oh, no, it's not there. Okay. Well, I don't have another one to give you, but I have one that's similar. I'll send that. Never said a word back. I mailed it out 3 weeks ago. He received it. He starts messaging me the other day. Hey, this gun you sent me is not the one that's listed on Google. Blah, 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 blah. You need to make this right. Well, first of all, I know I'm 1,000% correct. It was in there when I sent it. You could have been going through it too quickly and you might have dropped it on the ground and it might be right there with where you're at. And so we go back and forth, back and forth. He's really a dick. And I finally told him, he was like, you need to make this right, blah, blah. I said, you know what? I don't have it. I said, I sent you something that was the exact same thing, but it was gray, not green. So that's what his big complaint is, that it's gray, not green. So I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I will, as far as I'm concerned, send it back. I'll refund you the money. I'm not going to put much more of this bullshit. And don't hear a word for 2 days, maybe. And I was looking on eBay or something, and I noticed my feedback rating was lower than normal. And I looked at it, and he said, item not as described, missing item. Seller refused to fix the problem. No, that's not true. I went on there and said, liar. I sent a replacement, and you still were not happy. And you still were. No, I spelled that wrong. Shit, I'm a horrible speller. You're basically, I was saying you were not happy, told you to send back. The worst part is that I had it listed for $55 and I accepted a best offer on it. And he's, still being a dick about it, and I just think it's whatever, Like I said, eBay is the devil's playground. So that's my rant about eBay. Are you still there?
Yeah, no, I fell asleep there for a minute. But
you hurt my feelings.
This rant not brought to you by G.I. Joe Flashback. Once again, this rant not brought to you by G.I. Joe Flashback.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta have a rant somewhere.
Yeah, that's all right. Everybody has to have a place to vent.
Yeah, there you go. But let's see what else. Talked about that. There's a couple of artists I wanted to mention. One is Damon Batt, B-A-T-T.
Oh, I just tweeted his stuff this morning. That Destro is awesome.
That's exactly what I'm looking at right this second.
Can you bring that up?
Yeah, give me just a second.
I know it's backwards, but hey.
No, it's not. It's actually right.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yes. Let's go back to screen share.
Yeah, that was, and he's got a Baroness and a couple others on there too. Some
He
Transformers
does.
stuff too.
Yeah, he actually a few months ago, maybe earlier this year, I had bought something from him, I believe. I can't remember if I bought it or he just gave it to me. I can't remember. He sent me, I got a whole bunch, I got like 5 or 6 things he sent me. Mm-hmm. And one of them was his Sergeant Slaughter.
That is awesome too.
And he autographed it. It was already autographed by Sergeant Slaughter. Let's see if I can find some of his things. I think he posts everything on. I think he pretty much posts everything on his regular Facebook page. If I'm right. He's a very talented guy. I know I've talked to him a couple of times. He was actually going to make it to my show this past May, but he was not able to make it. Let me see. He's a big NWO fan. I know that.
Yeah.
He has, I think that's one of his as well, I believe. Rodimus Cup and Wreck-Gar. Let's see what else we find here. I know, like you said, he had a Baroness, a Sergeant Slaughter. I mean, let's see. Oh, my goodness. Trying to find it is very hard. Well, if you all want to see his artwork or even ask him about his artwork, he is on Facebook. I can't seem to find a page for it. Damon Batt, B-A-T-T, him with his NWO t-shirt and Transformers, the movie in his background there. Again, he's a very talented, and he does a lot of G.I. Joe stuff.
I sent you an image there, Mike. If you could bring that up through your Twitter.
Hold on. Gotta go back to screen sharing in a second. Twitter. You send me a message?
I sent you a message of an image. Just something I wanted to mention.
Okay, hold on. Okay, what do we have here?
That is Callie Cosplay, and sadly, she was ill for quite a while, and she passed away either yesterday or today. One of the great G.I. Joe cosplayers, as you can see, and I just wanted to give a shout out to her. She also has a GoFundMe up. I'm imagining they're going to need some help, so to visit her GoFundMe. Definitely do that.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I actually saw this earlier. Someone else had posted it, and I was reading up on it, and it looked like when I read the GoFundMe, she had started it for some surgery she had to have, and then apparently something went wrong, I guess. Yeah. And she say again, like I said, you said she sadly passed away here in the last day or two, is what it looked like from what I was reading. That's really sad to hear. I'm not for sure what all she was, if she was part of the finest or anything, but she did do a lot of G.I. Joe cosplay. Has you met her in real life?
No, I had not. I knew her just from online presence.
It's a real shame. I saw some of her other stuff she had done outside of G.I. Joe, and she was a very talented young lady. Again, we're sorry to hear about her passing.
Condolences to her family.
Yes. What if I can use that tone? But all right. Well, I don't know what happened to Fred. I've been sitting here double checking on the.
He's decorating his Christmas tree early.
She's probably putting him to work. You're probably right. Yeah, and I texted him to hear anything back, so I'm sure he'll. I know last episode, for some reason, he got the time completely wrong. He thought I had said 7 o'clock somewhere where I didn't. I said 6, and he thought it was 7 for some reason. And then we were like thinking like a minute or two before we're fixing to go live, and I called him. And I'm like, "Hey, where are you at?" He said, "Oh, I'm at home giving my cat an insulin shot." I'm like, "Oh, well, the show starts here in like a minute or two." What? Like, yeah, man. He was like, "Oh, he got the times backwards." So hopefully nothing's wrong with his cat again. Maybe that's not what's wrong, but I'm sure I'll hear from him.
Are you two in the same time zone or not?
Yeah, we're in the same time zone.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. A couple other things I wanted to point out. For people who know John, John had a little accident. He fell at his house and cracked something, did something. I can't remember exactly what all he did. And then something else happened, or it's the same thing, but he is in a a sling for about 5 weeks, I think he said. So
I don't mean to make light of it. So he has a cracked elbow.
is that what it was? Was it a crack elbow?
No, that's a G.I. Joe joke. Never mind.
Oh, never mind. Hold on. I got it. It took me a second. It almost went over my head, but I caught it.
But he's fine, right? Other than
yeah, he's fine. Still being the same old smart ass he is.
That's good.
Yeah. So, well, I know the show would last a whole lot longer if we had more people to talk it up, but and I've already ran it. Was there something else I wanted to rant about? Let me look real quick. I had a lot of stuff pulled up. Yeah, that one guy, he just really grinded my gears. Let's see. We talked about the Toyz show. That.
Well, we covered Joe Fest. We covered Nick. We covered Crimson Archer. We covered cosplay at New York Comic Con. Sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
I saw a Destro, a Flint, a Cobra Commander, a Bat, a Crimson Guardsman. You know, there's pretty good representation up there this year, so that's good.
Yeah, that is very good to hear. Especially since there's nothing for G.I. Joe besides Joe Con's already come and gone. Well, I guess we will call it a show there. When just right at an hour, maybe a little bit over. For people who actually got their notification last week or actually watched, I was hosting Cybercast and Galactic Gumbo because Josh was he's got some medical issues. I talked to him yesterday. Matter of fact, he called me. It's very funny. I'm going into Target to buy these pops. I'm literally walking down the aisle. I get a phone call. I answer it through my headset, and it's him like, "Hey man, there's something big going on at Target for these pops. You want me to look for anything for you?" I said, "No, I'm good. I'm actually the first one in line here, getting mine right now." "You sure?" I said, "There's only like 10 people in line." I said, "Yeah, those 10 people are probably going to get everything they got." I said, "I'm good." And I said, "Trust me, I want to get what I want." "Okay, well, I ain't getting you no more damn Twinkies." I said, "Okay, that's fine. I got enough Twinkies." I had this fascination about these Twinkie pops.
Oh,
They were glow in the dark.
okay.
I have 21 of them. Don't know why.
The last thing I got at Target was pumpkin spice donuts. So, you know.
That pumpkin spice stuff already started. I can't stand pumpkin spice crap. It just drives me insane. I know when I had my bread route, man, they were like that, man. I think I already seen them on some of these stops I deliver to now. I've seen the pumpkin spice donuts. So, but yeah, I want to look at the calendar real quick because we're in October. Around this time I listed last year. Let's see. Our next show will be the 20th, and then the 2nd. That's 1, 2. Four. We have probably 4 episodes left. 5 if we go to the 14th of December, which will be right around our WR 2-year mark of doing the podcast. So
Okay.
we're looking to. There's a couple of people I've been talking to online. Of course, we've had guests as far as, we've had Bobby, we've had Kurt, we've had all kinds of people, man. So hopefully we can get us a big guest to come on for the end of the year. And then me and Fred will take probably 2 to 3 episodes, get through the, Christmas and New Year's and all that before we come back on, probably the end of January, just to give us a little break like we've done last year. Last year we did the same thing. I think the first episode was in December 16. We did 1 episode and then we took the rest of that year off, just to, it was the holidays and everything. we don't want to do a whole lot of stuff during the holidays. But I want to do a people can find us on certain social media outlets. Just so people know, you all can find me on. You can find the page on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as Just Nerd G.I. Joe Show. Also, fan groups that we are running. So people do know. A lot of people don't know the fan groups, but there is. Oh gosh, the G.I. Joe Collectors Club. The End is a fan group we've been running, or I've been running for a couple of years. We've changed the name each year to coexist with JoeCon, and with it being the last year of the club, we've called it the Club The End. And then there is the one group I've kind of neglected it a little bit. I've just been so busy with lots of stuff going on. But I do run the Brad Sanders page. Let me pull it up here real quick. Yeah, it's a Facebook page, Brad Sanders, aka Big Lob. This is a page dedicated just to Brad Sanders' character, Big Lob for G.I. Joe. If you are a promoter of a show, you're looking for G.I. Joes, he is a, he is up for booking. Message us over there and we'll get you the booking information for him. But yeah, small page, not very many people there. So if y'all want to go over there and join that page or even share it for us, that'd be great. The logo is half Brad Sanders and then the other half is a Big Lob. So definitely go over there and check that page out and all of our pages we run. And then be sure to check Fred out at anywhere pretty much Joe Battle Lines, and even some of those little small things that have one or two people still there. Fred's going to be one of those two people there. And then, of course, my other friend who's been on a couple episodes, I really appreciate him joining us, is Chris McLeod with Full Force. So you can find him pretty much everywhere. Full Force podcast, I think, or just find the goofy looking guy is what it is, man. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the show this week. Skinny, tell them about your where they can find you on social media and the Kickstarter program one more time.
The Kickstarter is G.I. Joe Flashback, and all you have to do is do a search for G.I. Joe Flashback on Kickstarter. My personal social media is at Skinny Joe Fan, and that's Twitter, Instagram, and also Facebook now. So
also on Facebook. A lot of people don't do Facebook. I know Rick doesn't do Facebook.
Yeah, it was a reluctant kind of thing, but it was a necessity. So
I got you. No problem, man. And we'll be sure to share everything we can. And I'll pass it on to Fred for him to share on Joe Battle Lines as well.
Appreciate that.
We will be back in 2 weeks. Hopefully, Fred will make it, and then we will. If you see a link come up for next week, I'll be doing Cybercast and Galactic Gumbo. Cybercast is the all Transformer action figure podcast with news and reviews, and then Galactic Gumbo is the all geek talk show where we pretty much talk about anything, everything geekery. So thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And even though it's a short episode, but we'll definitely look forward to seeing everyone here in 2 weeks. And if you're not watching live, hopefully you are watching later on in full video form here on YouTube. But thanks a lot for joining us. We really appreciate it. And you'll have a good night.
Good night, Greg.